Welcome back, everyone. It's Pink Pops, aka Margaret again. Today I'm going to be covering what the user experience is like for a live virtual K-pop concert, both purchasing the tickets and also attending the actual event. I've probably mentioned this in a previous video, but I've been a fan of K-pop for the past 18 years or so. Recently, I saw a video from the Wall Street Journal about virtual concerts being held due to the pandemic, and I thought, I'd like to attend one and just see how it's like. To attend the concert, I will be using an app called VLive, and they also have a website. Generally, the app is used to connect fans to musicians who post live videos, so kind of like Instagram stories. You can leave comments while streaming and also chat with other fans. It makes sense that they would have live concert events, and I actually wonder if Instagram will ever consider something like this for their own platform, since there are a lot of Western artists on it. The concert I will be attending tonight is for a member of SHINee named Taemin. If you don't know him, I'll leave some of my favorite songs of his in the description below, and then you can judge my music taste however you want. So now let's take a look at what the experience is like purchasing a ticket. For this concert, it looks like video on demand is not currently available, which means that you have to stream it live at the specified time. They could have spelled out video on demand though. I was pretty confused about what VOD stood for at first, since I've never done any sort of pay-per-view thing before. You can also watch replay streams of the concert, which are the options that say coming soon down below. I wonder if you have to purchase another ticket for that, but you might not have to, because on some forums I've seen that fans have discussed splitting the cost of a ticket, so it looks like one person might be able to stream it live and someone else can probably just catch the replay. So speaking of virtual concerts, one of the great things about it is that you don't really have to worry about tickets being sold out. The capacity is much greater since you're not filling out physical seats in an arena. So technically, I can have my husband watch with me for the price of one ticket. I wouldn't say that you can probably sell unlimited tickets though, because if you have way too many people, maybe the streaming might be a little slow. So anyway, back to the app. The by all language is pretty confusing. I was hesitant to tap it at first because of the all wording, but there doesn't seem to be any other option. So it looks like this might be the only way for me to pay for the ticket. I wish there was a way to save or bookmark this page in case I'm not quite ready to purchase them yet. I actually had to do a bit of calculation on the coin purchasing page so that I don't end up buying way too many coins that I don't even need. I wish there was a way to just input the exact number of coins that I need and it's calculated automatically based on the per coin cost. I had also noticed that the balance at the top does not automatically update even after it says that my purchase was successful, so I had to exit out of the page and go back in to see the updated balance. This seems like it could be very deceiving and lead users to purchase way more than they actually need. I'm not sure if this was done on purpose, but if it was, I would say that this is kind of like a dark pattern. So after I've made the purchase, pressing play actually launches a live chat with other fans. And maybe they could have improved the UX writing here and called it Start Chat with a disclaimer at the bottom that lets you know you'll be able to play the concert from this screen at the designated start time. So I do have a couple of questions leading up to the concert experience that hopefully will be answered during the event. For one, are other concert goers going to be muted during the live stream? How will the musicians be able to hear fans cheering them on or singing along? Would it be too distracting to hear other fans cheering with their mics on, since you're not really in a live concert hall with a better sound system? And also, since this is a virtual concert, will someone be able to translate anything he says during interludes for non-Korean speakers? There is a chat feature, and this is probably something that would have been tougher to do during in-person events. And not to mention, VLive seems to be an app that's targeted towards international fans since everything's in English, so they do know that a chunk of their audience is probably not going to understand Korean. But anyway, the concert actually begins at 2 a.m. my local time, so I'm going to take a nap because I'm no longer the youngin' I used to be who could hang out at divey bars until the sun rose. Hello. So it is the day after the concert, and I just want to share some thoughts on how I think it went. During the live costume changes, they cleverly placed in VCRs, which are kind of like short pre-recorded music videos throughout the show. Personally, they were my favorite part of the concert because they were so tastefully created. One of these VCRs, though, did involve some crazy strobe lights, and while you do take a risk when attending a live event, I thought that given the virtual nature of the concert, they could have at least put an epilepsy warning there. So from an accessibility standpoint, this was definitely a miss. Speaking of lights, I heard they eventually plan on having an option to sync fan lights, which is actually one of the coolest things about Korean concerts. Each fandom has their own unique light stick, and some of them can be synced up so that they change colors at the same time. It gives a more immersive experience when you're just sitting at home by yourself, staring at a screen. For a feeling that you're actually there, they did inject some fan cheering in the beginning and end of a song. I suspect that those cheers were pre-recorded though, because later on when you see Taemin actually speaking to the fans tuning in via video chat, the audio cheers there sounded way more distorted because they're passing through the internet. On the VLive app, you get to see live comments and hearts added by fans during a performance, and these show up either under the video in portrait mode or over the video in landscape mode. However, I cast my stream to a TV for a better viewing experience, and the comments don't actually appear on the side, thank goodness. Maybe other fans like the sense of camaraderie by texting reactions during the concert, but personally I prefer to focus on the performance. I'm not sure if all the comments showing up on landscape mode were dismissible either. If I didn't have another screen to cast it to, would I end up having to watch the concert with a ton of comments on the side? During the concert, you can also leave hearts in the comments, which is indicated by this icon, which I found to be really cute because it's something that I think originated from K-pop. It used to be that they do these like giant hearts, but I think these days it's a little more subtle. That being said, the text reactions were really one of the main components of the concert feeling like a real-time event. Otherwise, it oftentimes felt just like a televised event, especially as song titles came up on the screen and then there are logos of the event producers on the top right. The audio was very crisp, almost sounding like a recording, but I do miss hearing an audience and even the musician's voice as though it was recorded in an actual stadium. There was a very live concert sound that was missing. There were a couple of interludes where Taemin spoke to the audience, which was a bunch of screens set up to face the stage. I wasn't sure how fans were chosen to appear. There didn't seem to be a camera option using the VLive mobile app, but it does give the artist a feeling of performing in front of an audience. And I think this goes for any performer, but they often feed off the energy of the audience in the room, and singing to a bunch of screens just isn't quite the same. I mean, I've seen Taemin's other concerts on video and they are very high energy. This one seemed way more mellow. He did mention that because it was all virtual, helicams allowed them to get close-ups that otherwise would not have been available for in-person concerts. I appreciated the creative liberties that they took with those because the event was not edited like in concert DVDs. And I mean, I guess there's beauty in imperfection too. I do wish that they had been able to employ some more special effects. I've seen some other virtual performances for award shows that relied more on CGI to create illusions on stage, which would not have been possible or just super expensive for a live performance. But it looks like they decided not to spend the money on this concert, which was a shame. Taemin has said that one of the larger venues was occupied, so he had to go with a smaller one. And it sounded kind of like he was booking a conference room. Fortunately, there were subtitles during the interludes where Taemin spoke to the audience. They came in a little delayed, probably because someone is actually translating them on the fly. I appreciate having them because I would have had no idea what he said if this was all in person. They also had them in several languages, which was great. However, you can only see the subtitles on your phone. When I cast it to my TV, it doesn't actually show up on my screen. And I had to end up using two phones, one for translations and the other for casting it to the big screen. Towards the end of the show, there was a special V Live that was apparently not going to show up again in the restreams as kind of like an added bonus for those who tuned in live. But some fans reported that the special live was not streaming properly for them and they were experiencing skipping or lagging issues. And because it was a one-time deal and it's not going to restream, they were disappointed. Still, there was at least an option to delay the streaming by 10 seconds for more stability. And having real-time streaming actually didn't make too big of a difference, I found. But I mean, I may also be on faster internet. Overall, I'm glad that fans got to support Taemin before he enlisted in the military. I don't know if I would attend another virtual concert though. I still find myself enjoying watching pre-pandemic concerts on DVD a lot more. Hopefully, when it's safe again, we can fly to Korea and actually see the artists in person. Let me know in the comments below if you've attended or would like to attend a live virtual concert. Until next time, bye!